Good evening and welcome to the Morrison County Planning Commission public hearing for September 16th, 2025. Please stand for the flag pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, I have a few items to cover before we get started. Please sign in at the door if you have not already done so. There you'll find a detailed handout of the step-by-step procedure we'll follow tonight. If you wish, please take one. Please put any electronic devices on silent mode at this time. Also, please note that all testimony is being recorded for the record. Members of the Planning Commission are appointed by the County Board of Commissioners with one member from each of the 5 commissioner districts. Land Service staff is here to assist the Planning Commission with its duties. The task of the Planning Commission is to hold a public hearing and make a recommendation to the County Board of Commissioners for approval or denial of requests for conditional and interim use permits, rezones, plats, and ordinance amendments in accordance with state law and county ordinance. The burden of proving a request meets the criteria for approval rests with the applicant. There is a protocol for how we'll proceed tonight. For each request on the agenda, we will hear a staff report, hear testimony from the applicants, and then we will discuss and gather more information as needed. Next, I will ask if there's anyone in the audience wishing to speak to this request. I will ask each party to come to the podium. That's the one by the door. State their name and address for the record, and to give their testimony. Please be as factual as possible and direct all statements and questions to me. After all testimony is complete, I will close the public hearing portion of the process. The Planning Commission will then review and discuss the case in terms of our findings of fact criteria as required by Minnesota statute and county ordinance. We will have a series of votes, discuss whether conditions be made, and then there will be a final motion to recommend approval or denial to the County Board of Commissioners. After this final vote on your request, you may leave if you wish. The County Board of Commissioners will then consider the request and our recommendation at their next regular meeting and will either grant or deny the request. So tonight we have 2 items on the agenda. The first one is Donald and Carmen Walensky and Caitlin Walensky. So if you guys would want to come up here and sit up in the front. 7481 Dove Road, Little Falls, Minnesota. Application for a conditional use permit to establish a Tier 2 poultry feedlot, southwest quarter of northeast quarter and northeast quarter of southeast quarter of point of southeast quarter of northeast quarter, section 25. Township 128, Range 31, Swanville Township. So if you guys are seated, could you please speak into the microphone and state your names for the record?
Carmen Walensky.
I'm Caitlin Walensky.
I'm Donald Walensky.
Okay, thank you. So I guess at this time, Amy, you ready with the staff report?
I am, Mr. Chair. This is a request for a conditional use permit to establish a Tier 2 chicken feedlot. The ordinance section that applies is section 604.6, which requires a conditional use permit for the establishment of feedlots, and section 1209 contains the performance standards for large-scale feedlots. Here's an aerial photograph of the property outlined in blue. And then here is a site drawing provided by the applicant. And some highlights from the staff report is the property is made up of 2 contiguous parcels that together total 99.39 acres. There is a small farm operation consisting of beef cattle, not large enough to require feedlot registration. The applicant proposes establishing a Tier 2 chicken feedlot by building 2 chicken barns, and the proposed animal units is 418. The applicant will be changing the management regime for the cattle and will pasture them moving forward. The cattle numbers will not be counted within the registered number, and the Tier 2 animal holding setbacks will not be applied to the pasture area. All setbacks are met with the chicken barns. The Soil and Water conducted an environmental review, and their comments and recommendations were that the vegetation must be restored within the fenced pasture area to ensure feedlot conditions do not continue, and that the site is suitable for a Tier 2 chicken feedlot operation. Land Services staff has recommended the following conditions if approved: that the property owner shall consult with the feedlot officer to identify suitable soils for manure stockpiling, and that vegetation shall be reestablished and maintained within the beef cattle pasture area by May 30th, 2026. After that date, the pasture area must not exhibit feedlot conditions at any time. And then here are your criteria questions, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Amy. That seem accurate? Is there anything that's, or anything you'd like to add?
No, that's good.
Okay. So I guess at this time, I'll open this portion of the meeting to members of the board. If you have any questions for the applicants or staff, now's the time.
Mr. Chair,
Go ahead, Marv.
something when we have these chicken barns, we typically ask for a 50-foot buffer with grass around like that. Here, and if I believe that area is kind of a lower area there, but I mean, if you have that, I would assume, did Soil and Water recommend that? Because I didn't read that.
Mr. Chair, that wasn't part of the recommendation, a particular recommendation. What I have in the summary is kind of what their conclusion was.
Okay, but this is typically what we recommend, and as a condition that I'm going to recommend always also because going forward, majority of our barns are that way. And did Soil and Water or come up with an area for stockpiling? Because I think once the barns are going, I think I read that you were planning on a stacking slab.
Correct.
Okay, so did you find soils that would be suitable yet or not?
We did not know.
Okay, so before you stockpile, you would come up with something.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Marv. Anyone else?
Mr. Chair?
Amy?
That is one of the conditions that is recommended, is that they do consult with the feedlot officer to identify suitable soils for manure stockpiling. So we've recognized that in there.
Yep. Okay, thank you for clarifying that. Okay, I have a couple things. One, looking through your manure management plan, looks good to me. You have 600 acres available to apply manure, and it looks like here the most you would need is 405 for potash. So you guys are good that way. If anything would change, I always ask this question to every applicant: is there a way to get more ground, or people that would want manure? Okay.
Yep, we got neighbors that would take.
Okay. I know you're 195 acres long, so, but it's just a concern always. I ask the applicants that all the time. So looking through that, it looked good to me. The other question was, what was your plans? It said in there that you were gonna reestablish and get some of that pasture that was, must have been where you had cows getting fed and stuff like that. So you have to do that by spring, I think it said in there.
Yeah.
So what was your plans with that, getting that back into grass?
Just letting it grow back on.
Just
its own.
letting it
Yeah,
grow.
we will just only pasture the cattle there. We won't.
Okay,
They'll be stored wintered at the father-in-law's.
okay. Okay. Then for now, I guess there'll probably be some public comments, so I'll save the rest of mine till after that. Anybody else? George, you have anything?
No, I think I'm good.
John?
I'm good.
Okay, so I guess for now, we'll see what the public comment is. So I guess at this time, I'll open it up to the public. If there's anybody here from the public that wishes to speak for or against this applicant, please go to the podium, state your name for the record, and let us know what you have to say.
Mr. Chair. Shannon Wetstein, I'm the district manager at the Morrison Soil and Water, and our office did the environmental review for the site and the future expansion. The site is a good site for expansion. The reason for the vegetation in the feedlot is because of the way the parcels and the proximity to Donald's Walensky's property and Carmen's property. So we had discussed that, and long-term, that was something that they were agreeing to. Because to get the acres, they're combining it with the neighboring parcel. So it seems like a different condition you guys don't normally see, but because of the way they're using it and not a lot of animals, they were happy to do that. But yes, I know that they also are applying for stacking slab, and so we'll be working with them on that. As far as, any other concerns, I do think the 50-foot buffer, that isn't something that we talked about, but that is generally what we would recommend. And so in this case, bringing it up, that's a good point as well. Their soils are heavier here, but yeah, they're close to that wetland area as well. So other than that, Mr. Chair, I don't have anything. It is a good site for expansion. There is an old homestead that's been abandoned at this location that will be the farmstead residence of the feedlot, and so it's a good site.
Can I ask you one question, Shannon?
You bet.
So when these barns, we're gonna have quite a few of them in the next couple months here, whatever that we're going through. And we talk about suitable soils for stacking manure. If they just push out of the barn and all these barns get gravel put around them and stuff, does that help with the suitable soil for stacking, or is it what's underneath it that matters more than putting the gravel around that barn?
Good question, Mr. Chair. Basically, the suitable soils is going off of the parent soil. So if they were to put in something else, the feedlot officer would have to evaluate that. I guess we've worked with people to do stuff just like a slab, or even, where where they're putting gravel and then a berm even has been sufficient after review. So in this site, I would say something, working with the feedlot officer to determine if they are gonna have gravel. That would be something that would help. But suitable soils, what we're looking at is where the water table is at, and then how permeable or coarse those soils are. So,
Thank you.
yep.
I think that's it.
Thank you.
Any other public comment? Any other public comment? It asks 3 times before I close it, so I'll ask one final time. Is there any other public comment? Hearing none, at this time, we'll close this portion of the meeting to the public. So you guys got any other questions?
Nope, I think I'm good.
Okay, the only other one that I possibly have, I think I read through your access. Is this the one where I get mixed up sometimes, where it's coming through, it's coming off of the Township Road or off of Dove Road?
Off of Dove Road.
Off of Dove Road, and then that's right, you acquired that with the state, right? Oh, that's the other one, sorry.
No, Dove Road is a county road,
Uh-huh.
Mr. Chair. And I believe you're using the existing access, or are you
We plan
getting a
on
new one?
moving it over.
Okay, and you've worked with the Public Works Department on the location of the new access off Dove Road?
We haven't, other than I know we couldn't have 2, we just
Okay.
said we could move it, that's the only
Okay,
thing.
perfect.
Okay, okay, as long as you're in contact with them and work with them on that, okay. Okay. You guys got anything else, or you wanna go to the criteria questions?
This will go to the criteria question.
Okay, we'll move on to the criteria questions. Okay, so question 1, the use will not put an excess burden on roadways, utilities, and public facilities such as parks and schools. John?
Based on where the roadways are, the actual utilities or public facilities, there's obviously no parks and school. With an application like this for barns specifically, it's rare we run into anything that puts excessive burdens on any of those facilities. So At this juncture, that is not an issue.
Okay, thank you, John. Then we got question 2. I'll answer that one. So the question is, the request will not be detrimental to the use and enjoyment of other property in immediate vicinity purposes already permitted, nor impede the normal and orderly development and improvement of surrounding vacant property for uses predominant area. Yeah, they're kind of out there. They're the nearest closest neighbors, 14 neighboring residents is 1,400 feet away. The closest neighboring feedlot is 2,000 feet away. So there's quite a bit of setback there from neighboring properties. So I think that's good. The other thing is, when we look at it, is there's barns like this all over the county. They meet all their setbacks. We just heard Soil and Water talk that this is a good site for this type of tier 2 poultry feedlot. And then with their offset rating, it's really high for the odor. So I don't think, I'd say yes to question 2. Anybody have anything to add to that? Okay, if not, we'll move to question 3. The use and opinion of the Planning Commission is reasonably related to the existing land use and environment. Groundwater, surface water, and air quality in the surrounding area will not be adversely affected by the proposed use. George?
So they've put together a manure management plan to ensure that the groundwater, surface water, and air quality will not be adversely affected. The location is currently zoned and used for agricultural use. Clint also stated that, there's nobody really close to this location. The odor offset is 99%, which is really good. There's plenty of land for the manure with low phos level for manure application.
Okay, thank you, George. Anybody have anything to add to question 3? If not, we'll move to question 4. The use is consistent with the purposes of the zoning ordinance and the purposes of the zoning district in which the applicant intends to locate the proposed use. Marvin?
I'd have to say yes to this, and the reason why, it's ag, and it's an ag area, it's in a remote area, and as we heard from Shannon Westine, Soil and Water Rep, this is a good location for that, so it comes in alignment with our zoning ordinances.
Okay, thank you, Marv. Anybody have anything to add to question 4? Hearing none, we'll move to question 5. The use is not in conflict with the comprehensive plan or the water plan of the county. John?
When you go back into the application staff report that was prepared and you look at the 6 goals, 5 objectives that is meeting, and then we would have heard from Soil and Water or somebody at the county somewhere in the environmental review if there was any conflict, and there wasn't anything stated in there, so it's pretty straightforward too.
Okay, thank you, John. Anybody have anything to add? Okay, hearing none, we'll move on. Guys have anything else you want to say, or you just want to go to the vote? Okay, so then Amy.
Mr. Chair, I think it's important that Amy go over the conditions like that, because that's what we're going to be voting on.
Amy, could you do that, please?
Yes, the one I have is that they'll plant and maintain a permanent vegetative buffer around the barns. And then the other 2 would be the property owner shall consult with the feedlot officer to identify suitable soils for manure stockpiling, and vegetation shall be reestablished and maintained within the beef cattle pasture area by May 30th, 2026. After that date, the pasture area must not exhibit feedlot conditions at any time.
Okay, just one thing I'd like to clarify. To get that pasture back by May 31st, unless they're gonna seed it, I don't know how that's gonna get green by then.
Then give me a different date.
Well, I'd say by fall. I mean, I'd say October 1st, because the growing season is getting done. It's just, by May 30th, I don't think anything will be green, even if you
So
plant it.
October 31st,
Yes,
2026?
that's what I'd like to do. You guys fine with that?
Mr. Chair, yeah, by May 30th, it's not going to be green.
No.
be lucky if it'll be green by then. You might have to seed it anyway.
It's Minnesota, you just never know.
Okay, let's proceed to vote. Okay, question 1, the use will not put an excess burden on roadways, utilities, and public facilities such as parks and schools. John?
Yes.
Myself, Clint is yes. George?
Yes,
Marvin?
Yes.
Question 2, the request will not be detrimental to the use and enjoyment of other property in immediate vicinity for the purposes already permitted nor impede the normal and orderly development and improvement of surrounding vacant property for uses predominant area. Myself, Clint is yes. George?
yes,
Marvin?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Okay, the use and opinion of the planning commission is reasonably related to the existing land use and environment. Groundwater, surface water, and air quality in the surrounding area will not be adversely affected by the proposed use. George?
yes,
Marvin?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Myself, Clint, is yes with the conditions. Question 2, the use is consistent with the purposes of the zoning ordinance and the purposes of the zoning district in which the applicant intends to locate the proposed use. Marvin?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Myself, Clint, is yes. George?
yes,
Question 5, the use is not in conflict with the comprehensive plan or the water plan of the county. John?
Yes.
Myself, Clint, is yes with the conditions. George?
yes with the conditions.
Marvin?
Yes.
Okay, looks like all the questions were answered in affirmative, so I guess at this time I would take a motion to recommend approval.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make that motion to approve this to the county commissioners,
I'll second it, Mr. Chairman.
and it's with the conditions also.
Second that, George?
Yes,
Okay. Motion made and second to recommend approval to the County Board of Commissioners with the conditions. All in favor say aye. George?
aye,
Marv?
Aye.
Myself, Clint, is aye. John?
Aye.
Okay, so we're gonna recommend approval to the County Board of Commissioners. They'll decide that at their meeting on September 23rd. Okay, so if you guys got any questions between now and then, contact Land Services and they'll walk you through it, okay? All right, thank you guys, you're free to go.
Good
Great,
luck with
thank
it.
you.
Thank you.
Good to see young people getting involved in this because, you know, it's tough life in a lot of ways. We have people going forward that really would love to do this.
No, where did my damn vote sheet go? Here it is.
Two good hardworking families.
Okay. Okay, next up on the next item on our agenda is Gregory and Renee Wensman. So if you guys would want to come up. There's no property address. The application for a conditional use permit to establish a Tier 2 poultry feedlot located in point of northeast quarter, Section 9, Township 127, Range 30, Elmdale Township. So if you guys would please speak in the microphone and state your names for the record.
Greg Winsman.
Corey Winsman.
Okay, thank you. Amy, you ready with the staff report?
I am, Mr. Chair. Again, this is a conditional use permit to establish a Tier 2 chicken feedlot. And the ordinance sections are 604.6 and 1209. Here is an aerial photograph of the property outlined in blue. And then a site drawing also provided by the applicant. This is a 139.8 acre property. It is duly zoned agriculture and shoreland with some floodplain designation. The property is currently utilized for cropping. The applicant proposes establishing a Tier 2 chicken feedlot by building 2 chicken barns. The total proposed animal units are 400, and all setbacks are met with the chicken barns. A stacking slab is proposed to be built in conjunction with the barns. The Soil and Water Conservation District conducted an environmental review, which was in your packet, and their comments and recommendations is that the site is suitable for a Tier 2 feedlot operation. A stacking slab is proposed right away, demonstrating good environmental stewardship. The 14-acre field where the barns are proposed will stay in grass to prevent erosion from the roof stormwater. And Land Services staff recommended the following condition if approved. The area surrounding the barns identified within the environmental review shall have permanent vegetation planted and maintained. Then here are criteria questions, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you, Amy. Everything seemed correct that was in the staff report. You guys have anything that you'd like to add? Okay, not at this time. Okay, so at this time, I'll open this portion of the meeting to the board. If you guys have any questions for the applicants or staff, now's the time.
Mr. Chair.
Go ahead, Marv.
Well, I read this, that you were typically are going to plan on keeping that into grass area, so being that, we won't have to do the 50-foot buffer, but because that was part of the condition, that you were going to keep it in that. Also a question for you, on your, Greg, your main farm where you're living on there, you have a chicken barn there. What year, did you shut that down, or is that
2001.
2001, so you're a little experienced with these barns a little bit. And so this is a separate farm, obviously, that you're going to have it just down the road from that. Okay. So another thing, you know, obviously I'm very familiar with this property, driving past it frequently. That's fairly low around there, isn't it?
Toward the south.
Yeah. But you're far enough away from the wetland. No recommendation, I didn't see anything about buffers or anything else there other than the stacking slab, correct?
Right.
Okay. I just wanted to bring that up. I knew it was lower there, but, you know, there's that little creek or whatever going to it. Yeah, okay. Sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you, Marv. Anybody else?
Just a comment, Mr. Chair. So it looks like we got an offset rating of 99%, which is really good. You've also implemented a Morrison County Good Neighbor Plan. You've worked with some order minimization plan, and you got a stormwater plan, so that should alleviate any concerns about the North Two River. That's identified to be the southeast of where the barns are, correct?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it looks like it's a real good application. Thank you for that.
Thank you, George. Again, looking through your environmental thing from the feedlot officer and your manure management plan, looking through again, shows that you got 420 acres available, and you only need 210, so you guys are like double, so that's good. One thing I just wanted to, reading through it, it says, you know, you got so many acres after setbacks are made. Is that just after the barn's put on? Because that took so many acres, or what does that mean?
Say that again?
So you got like all these different acreages. You got like 177 acres. You got 302 here after setbacks are met. So I'm assuming that's just
Yeah,
after the barn is
after the
taken
barn's
out of
out.
that. Okay, just wanted to clarify that. Okay. So you're good on the manure, all them setbacks are met. Good job on the application. So I guess I don't have a lot of questions, but, John, you have any, or?
Nope, good.
Yeah.
Mr. Chair, I do have
ahead, Marv.
another question. I've seen off of 238, a driveway. Is there existing approach there now?
No.
So,
I talked to the state and I got a permit from them.
so you do have,
Mr. Chair,
Go
I
ahead.
believe that was part of the staff report, that they
Yep.
did have a permit granted from MnDOT. So they've gone through that process and have secured that already.
okay. Me bad, I missed that, you know. So, otherwise, I'm going to make a comment is, I've known Greg a long time, and the neighbors and all know good farmer, and obviously trying to pass it on to his son there, and it's great to see young farmers stepping forward and doing this, because it's not always so easy there, but well respected and doing a good job, and I'm sure Corey will do the same thing there, so thank you.
Okay, at this time, I'll open it up to the public for public comment. So if anybody would wish to speak at this application, please go to the podium, state your name for the record, and say your piece.
Mr. Chair, Shannon Wetstein from the Morrison Soil and Water. And my staff did the environmental review on this proposed site. The field where they're locating this is, meets the acreage requirements. The 14 acres in the corner is what would be turned into grass around the barns. The Wensmans worked with us to kind of, and the feedlot officer, making sure that those barns sat in there far enough from neighboring residents, the setbacks, and up slope of the river, because it does slope down. But with that, there's still 140 feet, I think, away from the wetland edge and the floodplain there. And so they had said that they're planning on building the stacking slab at the time of construction, which shows that they're mentally prepared to take on that financial burden as well. But for the site, it's a good call. They'll be ready to deal with that manure right away. With some of the site we talked through, being across the road from the existing feedlot, but they have the right to establish this as a new feedlot. And then Corey and the dairy being down the road quite a ways as well. So for the placement of the new barns, it will be establishing a new feedlot at this location. And it's all within their right to do that, and it makes sense for the operation as well. So the site overall is good for construction, soils. I mentioned the slope, but it's not excessive at all. We would recommend the site for approval.
Okay, thank you, Shannon.
Mr. Chairman,
Go ahead, George.
I got a question for Shannon. Say, Shannon, so the 14 acres you're talking about, is that the whole wedge from 238 south to the river, that the tan wedge where the barns are sitting, that whole wedge is going to continue to be all seeded down? Is that what you're talking?
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, I just wanted clarification on it.
Yep, on the map for everyone looking, you can see where the line is for the field.
Yep.
It's not black.
Yep.
Yep,
Okay, thank you.
yes.
Is there any other public comment? Any other public comment? I'll ask a third and final time, is there any other public comment? Hearing none, I'll close this portion of the meeting to the public. Okay, you guys ready to go through the criteria questions, or do you have more questions? Okay, so we'll move through the criteria questions. Question 1, the use will not put an excess burden on roadways, utilities, and public facilities such as parks and schools. I'll take that one. No, there is no parks and schools anywhere close to this. There shouldn't be there will not be any excess burden on the roadways. They got to obtain a permit to put a driveway and approach in through MnDOT. So being they did that, I'm sure they looked at all them things, and by giving them the permit, that just gives them the okay that isn't going to put a burden on that road also. So I would have to say yes to question 1. Anybody have anything to add? If hearing none, we'll move to question 2. The request will not be detrimental to the use and enjoyment of other property in the immediate vicinity for the purposes already permitted, nor impede the normal and orderly development and improvements of surrounding vacant property for uses predominant area. George?
Yes, I believe the request will not be detrimental. Adjacent properties are owned by the applicant. The rest of the area consists of sparsely scattered residences. The offset rating is 99%. An applicant is willing to keep the land around the chicken barn seeded down to prevent any runoff into the river.
Thank you, George. Anybody have anything else to add to question 2? Hearing none, we'll move to question 3. The use and the use and the opinion of the Planning Commission is reasonably related to the existing land use and the environment. Groundwater, surface water, and air quality in the surrounding area will not be adversely affected by the proposed use. Marvin?
As George stated earlier, offset rating of 99%, almost perfect. And as Shannon stated, this is a good site for putting the barns, meets all the setbacks, and them as stating they were planning on leaving it in the grass, so it would absorb anything, filter it before it could reach any water. So it does meets all that criteria, so it's a real nice site for that.
Thank you, Marv. Anybody have anything to add to question 3? Hearing none, we'll move with question 4. The use is consistent with the purposes of the zoning ordinance and the purpose of the zoning district in which the applicant intends to locate the proposed use. John?
It's an ag application in ag zoning and the shoreline reference. Regarding the shoreline reference, any of the required setbacks, it's well past that. So fits exactly what they're able to use it for.
Okay, thanks, John. Anybody have anything to add to question 4? Okay, move on to question 5. The use is not in conflict with the comprehensive plan or the water plan in the county. I would have to say yes to this one. When we look through our goals and objectives, they meet all of them. We heard testimony from Soil and Water on the site. If there was any question about the river, that negates everything with the extra steps that they're doing as far as planting all that extra field into grass to help slow some of that water down. I believe there probably wouldn't be a problem without doing that, but since you're doing that, it just enhances and gives us more confidence that we're protecting that watershed. So I'd have to say yes to question 5. Anybody have anything else to add to question 5?
Yes, I think it's important to note, as Shannon stated, their willingness to look at putting a stacking slab to also help with that water plan.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we'll get ready to vote on these. Amy, could you read back the condition again? Was it just the grass buffer? Was that the only one we had on this one?
Mr. Chair, that was the only one that was recommended by staff, and I believe that was the only one that was talked about, and that one is the area surrounding the barns identified within the environmental review shall have permanent vegetation planted and maintained.
Okay,
Mr. Chairman,
George.
do we want to clarify that a little bit and state that whole 14-acre wedge would be?
Mr. Chair, I was referring to what was identified in the environmental review, which was on a map.
Okay.
But if you want more clarification with words rather than just attaching that environmental review page, we sure can do that.
Well, I guess it'd be nice to have it clarified that that 14-acre wedge in the corner there would remain seated down. That would take care of the 50-foot buffer around the barns.
You guys fine with that?
Yeah, that's all that grows there anyway.
Okay. Okay, that does away with that then. Okay. All right, so then with that condition, we'll vote on the questions then. Okay, question 1. The use will not put an excess burden on roadways, utilities, and public facilities such as parks and schools. Myself, Clint is yes. George?
Yes.
Marvin?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Question 2, the request will not be detrimental to the use and enjoyment of the other property in the immediate vicinity for the purpose already permitted, nor impede the
Yep.
normal and
Sorry.
orderly development and improvement of surrounding vacant property for uses predominant area. George?
Yes.
Marvin?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Myself, Clint is yes. Question 3, the use and opinion of the planning commission is reasonably related to the existing land use and the environment. Groundwater, surface water, and air quality in the surrounding area will not be adversely affected by the proposed use. Marvin?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Myself, Clint is yes. George?
Yes.
Question 4, the use is consistent with the purpose of the zoning ordinance and the purposes of the zoning district in which the applicant intends to locate the proposed use. John?
Yes.
Myself, Clint is yes. George?
Yes.
Marvin?
Yes.
Question 5, the use is not in conflict with the comprehensive plan or the plan of the water plan of the county. Myself, Clint is yes. George?
Yes.
Marvin?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Okay, looks like all of them are answered in affirmative, so I guess at this time I'd take a motion to recommend approval with the condition.
So moved.
I'll second that motion, Mr. Chairman,
Okay,
with the condition.
made by John and second by George. Okay, there's a motion made, and seconded to recommend approval with the condition. All in favor say aye. George?
Aye.
Marv?
Aye.
Myself, Clint is aye. John?
Aye.
Okay, so approved. So we're gonna recommend approval to the County Board of Commissioners, and they'll, hear that on September 23rd. So if you have anything in between now and, the 23rd, contact Land Services and they can answer any questions you have. Thank you and good luck.
Good luck with it, yep.
Okay, next, we got any new or old business? I don't know of any. Amy, you have any new or old business?
Excuse me, Mr. Chair, I do not. I just want to remind you, though, that when we have feedlots, our feedlot officer is here. Generally, she's right there. And so if you ever have any questions
far
that the
as that,
feedlot officer
yep.
can answer, feel free.
Perfect. Maybe we will yet tonight. We got plenty of them. Okay, thank you. I guess we got minutes from September 2nd. You guys get a chance to look over them?
Mr. Chair, I make a motion to approve the minutes from our previous meeting.
Okay, is there a second?
Seconded.
John, it's a motion made and second to approve our September 2nd, 2025 minutes. All in favor say aye.
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 Okay, minutes approved. Guess, take a motion adjourn at this time.
I'll make that motion, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Okay, motion made and second to adjourn. All in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, meeting adjourned at 6:42.